Hello, everybody. So, thank you very much for coming in, GM. For those over in the Americas, it is good evening or good afternoon for those in Europe. Good night over there for us that are in Asia. So, thank you very much, everybody, for coming in here. So, it's a pleasure. Lucio and myself, we're here to discuss more about what's happening with the Meta Pool DAO. What's to be expected for Q4 this year? Definitely a lot of exciting stuff happening. So this is governance call number 11. So Lucio, how you doing, man? How's everything?
All good here. Sorry, my camera is not working properly. Let me check.
All good, man. All good. So I reckon it's been it's been an interesting 2024. We're wrapping up October, 2 months left in the year. Definitely a lot of things happening. And as you can see, we're really excited about what's happening over in the different ecosystems that we're operating. You can see here my background. So shout out to the internet computer community, which we happily partnered to launch the liquid staking during Token 2049. We had a great event over at the Shane Fusion event. So yeah, lots of things happening. We pitched live at Killer Whales. Didn't get selected, so sorry, we're not going to be at in the next season in Netflix. Well, shame about that, but anyhow, it was a great experience. We got tons of feedback from the likes of the current CEO from BitGet, Mario Nafwal, and yes, and so people excited about collaborating with us as well. So lots of interesting people. So let's get down to the agenda. So today we're going to be talking about a few important themes. Most importantly, right now is that there's a current um, retroactive public good funding over at Potluck. So that's coming in the next for the next month. So really happy to be partnered with them. It's going to be our first retroactive public good funding round with Potluck. There's around $15,000 there. Um, for us, I think it's been one of those initiatives that has we have been collaborating with different um, platforms, such as well, the first one was Gitcoin, then we supported Giveth, and now Potluck. I think right now it's going to be quite interesting because our grants program is basically how can I say kind of like a pay it forward platform right now. We understand that we need to be more so than anything allowing a fair way of distributing funding from the DAO. It hasn't been all roses and everything running smoothly. There's been some challenges with some projects not being able to deliver. I know that the community voted for more transparency on how it's voting, so we're learning as we go. I think here, Lucio, I think it will be important for people to understand like multiple improvement proposals. How do they shape how we're distributing funding? I think the last um, Meta Pool improvement proposal, I think it was 11, if I'm not mistaken. So I believe that right now for us is we need to have better ways to engage with the community. We do have this tool that we built over in the blockchain operating system. Yes, proposition number 11, which is transparency, add full voting transparency to the Meta Pool app to the front end. And so I think we've done that's up and running. Any news on that? Any updates on that, Lucio? When's that's going to be live?
We are already at, I guess, 80% of what is needed on the front end to add the information. We had a mini demo day yesterday with the team, so I guess in 1 or 2 weeks we'll be already
Okay.
on the set.
Perfect. Anyhow, so this is important because at the end of the day, There's important dynamics, a very different process that we're going to be implementing for the retroactive public good funding round number one with Potluck. And so it, I do want to be very upfront about this. It isn't a process to be improved on, so don't expect for it to be 100% smooth. We do expect feedback from grantees, so that way we can better align into how to make this more seamless. It is not an easy task, but again, a lot of feedback from the community is expected. And for us, I think one of the most important aspects is just allowing funding to be received for top projects in the near ecosystem. I reckon Potluck is chain agnostic, so anyone building on top of decentralized technologies can apply. Do read first the kind of like the requirements. Understand that it's still like an ongoing process. If something is not working or you feel that it's not optimal, do send us feedback, either directly to the Potluck team or to us, and then we can start to work on improving this process. It's not going to be the first nor the last. So it's just we're going to take it one step at a time. So other than that, I think it's a Francisco. Hey, thank you very much, mate. So I think one of the most important aspects right now that we need to be discussing with the community, I think this is a most relevant one, is just well, our Q4 roadmap, right? And I would say that it's more milestones than roadmap. Right now, we're talking about a few things that we're up and building. Most notably is basically uh, we will be exploring kind of like a let's take it one step. Let me take two steps back, right? So I know that we understand that crypto and blockchain technology is changing, and we're adapting as quickly as we can. One of for us adapting to the product to the users, it is multi-language support. And so I believe that this is okay. Let me share my screen really quick so folks can see a little bit what we're talking about. Um, and so this is what we're talking about right now. Um, we have lending and borrowing, which is coming. It's already the contract. Correct me here if I'm wrong, Lucio. Is already been audited or is about to be finished the audit process. So that's on the EVM side. Um, I don't know if you'd like to discuss more about lending and borrowing.
Yes, yes, yes. We are, to be honest, the way that the product has a little evolved, if you like, is to be focusing on a simple lending and borrowing. Because what we want to do is to provide tools for financial freedom. And those tools, if you are helping people coming in for, let's say, for the first time into Web3, gotta be as simplified as possible. So, on the general idea of lending and borrowing, we will start with the most, let's say, safe use case. When you put some uh, blue chip tokens as collateral, for example, Bitcoin, STNR, MPETH, MPSOL, and you borrow a stable coin against that. Because lending and borrowing is more complex. Lending and borrowing allows you to, let's say, provide anything as collateral and borrow anything. And then you start doing, let's say, things that are more advanced, like shorting some things or going long on others, or doing hedging. And that is, let's say, way more complex than what we are intending to do. That's something that I at least perceive on the entire Web3 space, is that there's a big range from you don't have to think anything, but probably you will lose all your money, to you need to have 3 years of financial education in order to understand what the heck is happening. So we are trying to be in the middle of that, where you need to understand what you're doing, but you also, the first option is something that has low risk, that will help you save, that will help you, let's say, trade all around the world, but will not uh, make 75, 90% of the people participating lose their money. That is what happened, for example, if you if you start going leverage or hedging, or you enter the FX market with leverage, that is where the problem starts. So more than lending and borrowing, we will start with this. You lend blue chip tokens, L1 tokens, and you get a stable coin that is fully collateralized. And for example, in the same idea that we are trying to simplify and not to create a place where people can lose their money, we are doing over collateralizations. What does it mean? For example, normally in a lending and borrowing, you have, let's say, good margins. For example, you can put $100 in Bitcoin and you can borrow $85 in USD. So you have a $15 of margin if Bitcoin goes up or down. So you will be covered. But if the collateral goes down, this 15%, you will be liquidated. And that is not a nice event. So we are going with over collateralization. Instead of allowing you to borrow up to 85% of your collateral, we are starting with 50%. So there is way less risk of you being liquidated. So to 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 make a resume of this, we will start with lending blue chips and borrowing stablecoins, a simplified version of lending and borrowing.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Lucy, on that one. So we're and not only are we're launching a very simple lending and borrowing platform. Reason for this is, of course, we would like to get more utility for our LSTs, right? In this case, we found it really challenging to, whenever we go and support a new blockchain, there's a limited amount of liquidity there, right? Um, so, and when we're talking to lending and borrowing platforms, some of them are asking a very large amount of liquidity to be available, right? And so, at the when you're bootstrapping LSTs, this is a challenge, right? Like currently, right now on Ethereum, there's around like 2.3 million, close to 920 or so ETH being delegated, and that's small amount for many lending and borrowing platforms. So we want to give immediate utility, right? Now, launching a lending and borrowing platform is not also trivial, right? You do need liquidity there because, of course, what's the use case for the stable being minted, right? Because we will not, at the moment, we will not have a liquidity pool for USDC, USDT. We will be minting our own stable coin, so it's going to be called MPUSD. And so what's happening here is that we need to give MPUSD utility. So there will be pools, MPUSD, USDT, USDC. Right now, as we said, these are on Ethereum. So we need to be mindful where these pools are going to be located. And that's kind of like TBD for the moment. Most likely, this is going to be internally in handled by Meta by the decentralized protocol. So we have full control over them, and we can start um, to provide a better service and also test it out as we goes, right? Because what happens is um, the we cannot risk using bridges right now and then be exposed to smart contract risk, right? So for the moment, we're gonna be doing it internally. Max One is doing a question like, in what chain will the lending and borrowing be built on? Right now, it's gonna be on ETH mainnet, but we won't most likely will support also Aurora, since we can bridge our ST near assets as well, right? Quite quickly, and we can start to have a better ways for folks to get exposure to the USDC, sorry, MPUSD as a stablecoin asset.
And to,
So
to clarify, sorry, to clarify
go right ahead,
also,
Lucio.
yes, we are working in order to launch it in near also at the same time. Let's say we have finished the contracts for Ethereum, but we need to select an L2 to launch it. That will depend on which L2 creates more incentives for us or help us in such a way to ease the launch, for example, providing liquidity, providing incentives, whatever. But we want to launch it on near at the same time. And there's a reason for that. We are multi-chain, so it is a good idea to start multi-chain, even launch the product multi-chain right now. I think we have the capacity. And also we intend to use chain abstraction in near. So even if you have it in both chains, you can, let's say, use Bitcoin and mix Bitcoins as collateral. That will be, I guess, a big selling point of the mechanism, because there's a lot of people, or there's a lot of OGs, if you like, of the Web3 space that own Bitcoin, but it is always a risk to use your Bitcoin to do something else. Let's say there is no Bitcoin DeFi native, so either you need to convert it to WBTC, that is, let's say, putting it as a Ethereum token, but there's a lot of risk there because there's a council of people managing that WBTC token. Or, and this is the good part of some multi-chain technologies like chain fusion in ICP or chain abstraction in NEAR, you can have your Bitcoin in your own Bitcoin address that is managed by a NEAR contract. So you can use your Bitcoin as collateral to mint a stable coin and to get eventually USDC, USDT on the NEAR blockchain, for example. And your Bitcoin will be in an account controlled by a NEAR contract, but completely separate from other Bitcoin. It will not be mixed in a WBTC, for example, or in a token in NEAR. It remains on the Bitcoin blockchain, but in an account controlled by a contract. So when you repay your loan, exactly the same Bitcoins can go back to your account if you want to recover them. So I think that is important. It's important to understand the ideas increases of each of the chains and each of the holders. I think Bitcoin is not fungible like we are used to in NEAR, in Ethereum, and in Solana. Bitcoin, you can trace the origin and movements of each Bitcoin. So being able to use your Bitcoin as collateral, but not mixing them with anything else, I think is a good selling proposal. So the idea is to launch in Ethereum mainnet, in some L2 of Ethereum, and on near allowing Bitcoin as collateral at the same time. That is the idea, or the target of launching these stable coins with borrow and lending.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, that's a little bit of alpha there, right? So yes, we will be supporting over collateralization of Bitcoin assets and then minting a US dollar pegged stablecoin. Um, Now, very important integrations as well that we're doing. Yes, Haiti Max, great question there. So yes, we are considering L2s. Right now, we support Optimism. We support Linium. There hasn't been a lot of too much movement on those L2s, and there has been some important challenges in regards to Linea. Optimism is a great L2, just for us, we haven't seen a really good partner for lending and borrowing there. We did a partnership with Velodrome. There was some incentives put in there, but to be honest, it was just there's always this key initiative, or this hurdle of an L2, which is bridging our MPE token to the canonical through the canonical bridge, and then sending it over to Velodrome. So there was some key challenges there that didn't show an optimal experience. Base is something that we are discussing right now. Scroll is another one, um, and we have a few others up the ranks. But anyhow, it's still TBD. First, we need to just build the near side of for lending and borrowing, so we can launch something that is multi-chain supported, and that we can have better opportunities for it to be successful.
And
Now,
Harry Max, if you have ideas or proposal, please put it on Discord, and because if eventually we have more than one that looks promising, will be decided by voting in the DAO. So if anyone has a preferred L2, or sees that in that L2 we will have some better, let's say, reception, please start sharing this, and push for a vote.
yes, yes. So yeah, we will launch these products, and then eventually DAO decisions will need to be made on which L2s. We can also do a little bit of a rundown in how what incentives they're providing, right? But it takes a little bit of time, right? But anyhow, um, I think just to I'll start to put in one important thing here, just to get it out of the way, and then we can discuss a little bit what in detail some other integrations. So we are doing a Burrito Wallet integration, which is a wallet very much focused in the Korea market and Asia market. So this is a spinoff from Bithumb, which is the one of the largest centralized exchanges in Korea. And so we talked to them over a few weeks back, almost a month ago, right now, when we landed in Korea, before Singapore, before Token 2049. And so that's something that is about to be launched during this Q4. Now, very important is multi-language support. I think now you can see that we support Vietnamese, right? We support Korean. We support Thai as well. Shout out to a couple of our community members from the Thai community. We met them around 3 weeks ago. Yeah, 3 weeks ago, and they happily translated it in really fast. So shout out to Ken and Mona, which will be helping us during Redacted. So you'll get to meet them in person in Bangkok. So anyhow, now for a second item on the list, right? So we will be launching our liquid staking index. So this is just a preparation stage. We are defining the architecture for it, just for people to understand what's an index. So basically, we will be creating a bucket of delegated assets. In this case, staked ICP, staked near, MP ETH, and MP SOL. So this bucket will create an index. How and it's not going to be at the same time, right? I want to be very upfront about it. We will first start with assets that have been behaving quite stable, right? Quote unquote, right? So we will start, of course, with ST near. We will start with MP ETH, and then slowly but surely we'll start to add the other liquid staking assets into the bucket, right? In this case, will be staked ICP and PSOL as liquidity starts to, or as TVL starts to increase in those two assets. Now, what does an index do? So basically here, and then Lucio can jump into the more of the technical part, It is we are aggregating the yield from both assets and then calculating an APY. There needs to be a balancing of this bucket so the APY is stable. And so folks that are basically buying the index, right? So you will either come up with your near or your ETH, and then you will be able to get exposure to this multi-chain liquid staking index. So, Lucio, you want to chime in into what the preparation stage looks like, and more
Yes, yes, yes.
importantly, give folks an opportunity to, well, at least see it a little bit into the future when this will be on mainnet.
Yes, to be honest, no, no, it is. It will not be responsible to put a date right now because this is the most complex things we are doing because it requires a multi-chain team that is capable of managing multi liquid staking tokens. So it is complex how to manage it. What I can do is describe the reason or why a staking index is a good idea. We were talking, I was explaining the lending and borrowing where you what you use as collateral has to be stable. That is what Claudio was saying. It shouldn't have wild variations because if it goes down a lot, you will be liquidated. Liquidated means that your collateral gets sold in order to pay for your debt, and that is uh, it's not a loss unless the collateral starts going up immediately after. So that is when you say, okay, why did I do that? So the idea is to try to avoid that. What do you do with that with an index? If you have, for example, let's go to the full thing. You have STNIR, MP, MP-SOL, and Stake ICP all on the same token. Imagine, I don't know, 30, 30, 2020, a composition like that. Is really, really quite difficult for that value to go down 50% because more than one chain gotta have a black swan event in order for the price of the composed index to go down. So what the index does is allows you to get exposed and get in APY from all the chains at the same time. But the most important part is the risking, the risk, the black swan events. There's no way that all four chains fail at the same times or all four chains have an event like, let's say, there are black swan events. For example, the FTX collapse. The FTX collapse moved Solana from 150 to 8. Okay, then Solana recovered, but in that fall, a lot of people got liquidated. If you have a staking index and you don't have only stake Solana, use it as collateral, you have all the other chains. Even if Solana has another black swan event, it will not get you liquidated because you are over collateralized and with a stake index. So this idea of the stake index is to help people save in crypto in the long term, reducing risks.
Yes, so it is a complex product we're building there. We believe that it's an easy way for folks that are new to crypto to get access to as much exposure to liquid staking tokens as they can in one go, instead of them getting lots of wallets and then staking and then remembering passphrases and private keys and whatnot. So we believe that this is going to be a game changer. We're really excited about this because this is the first time anybody has tried to do this on chain. Yeah, there are indexes out there. I think Bankless has one, and there's a couple of them. They're pretty. I don't know how decentralized they are, but anyhow, so we'll give it a go. Really excited to be bringing this over to the ecosystems that we participate in. Now, we're going to go into a little bit into the governance, right? I think this is, we kind of touched base on this a little bit when we started. So, execution of Meta Pool improvement number 11, as Lucio said, the next couple of weeks, we will have that ready for those new coming in. So, Meta Pool improvement proposal number 11 discussed giving more transparency to voting power being allocated to grants and also um, node operators. So we will start first with the grants. So we give more transparency when it's time to vote. And for us, one of the big things here that we want to do is that, yeah, let me try to share my screen a little bit with this. Hopefully this is gonna work. There you go. And so this is Meta Pool improvement number 11. So it got basically 98% voting. So it was a go. Some against it and some abstained. Discussion was really lively there, and I think this was something that everybody was kind of rooting for, right? And so at the end of the day, very important. Everything done is on chain. So at the end of the day, it's not that um, people cannot know who voted for who and with how much voting power. It's just making it a little bit more. It's making it available on the UI. Um, I think in the past we kind of said, "Hey, everything is on chain. You query it," but then again, people felt that it was not very user friendly. More importantly, for new people coming into the governance, right? That they wanted to know, okay, so they voted. Yes, they can see the total voting power, but okay, how many people did vote? Is this and this is very important because yes, we will acknowledge this, right? There's a couple of whales in the Meta Pool DAO, outside of founders and teams and our investors. And to be honest, right now there's not a lot of investors that are using their voting power. This is something that we need to change eventually. How we go into changing this is by creating a delegates, right? So right now, because of regulatory constraints and compliance constraints, um, some venture funds cannot use their voting power, and so they can be, but they can delegate it, right? And so I think that's something that we need to be building later on. It's just a coordinated effort. And well, like anything else, right? We put it on the on we put it on the table, discuss it. Is this going to bring in more TVL? Is this going to increase engagement? And so we believe that it was not the right moment, right, as of right now, to build it. And so we're going to wait a little bit and then build. I think we have like the liquid staking index, we have lending and borrowing, which is initiatives that can bring more TVL to the protocol, generate more fees, and so we can distribute more to DAO governance participants. And so anyhow, I'm losing my connection. Yes. Oh, this is really bad.
One more detail about transparency. This is also embracing some of the changes that Web3 and Bitcoin itself and crypto is, let's say, is part of the revolution. Part of the revolution is that everything is on chain, that everything is transparent. That, think about this is a financial system where everyone can see the accounts of everyone else. Imagine a bank that has all their accounts open in the public for people to see who transferred to who or who is doing that. And imagine adding on top of that uh, what you decide in the DAO and how much vote you put in one or another proposal. So I think this is a change. This is part of some of the ethos of Web3 and embracing really that transparency is important because it is there, it is on the chain. It's not, let's say, fair that only the people that can query the chain, let's say the technical people, are the ones that can view that information. So let's embrace it fully and let's make it open to everybody.
Yeah, I think that was some petitions, right? MXC was very upfront about that, right? Um, at the end of the day, and but it's a two-way street as well, right? Okay, if we bring this transparency, like how is that going to improve engagement, right? Is it just going to sprout more flame wars and
No,
or
no,
not,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think
I agree,
it will
but
increase discussion, right?
yes, yes, and we'll create that. There's a percentage of people that will uh, start flame wars based on information available. But to be honest, I prefer that to the other thing that is, let's say, other projects or DAOs that you say, okay, we are a DAO, but the vote goes 95% five, and you don't know who, you don't know why. So I prefer to have a full transparency and work in the open, even if that creates, you are correct, it will create some flame wars or fights that that we need to start to learn to let go. Let's say it is
No,
people
totally
will have
agree,
different
right?
opinion. Yeah,
But the thing is that okay, is this going to attract community members, right? New community members, or is this
yeah.
going to just going to
People
push?
that want
Because
transparency. People that has
yeah, no.
been collaborating in some places else, and they say, I don't know if what I'm voting of who I am voting against. I don't know why there are 10 whales that appears and make decisions. Also, this is a, let's say, a lack of trust given the situation. So you solve it with transparency. There's even problems of attacks. There are attacks, governance attacks on protocols that are trying to
Yep.
get the treasury by voting. So you need full transparency and collaboration. There's If you truly want to be a DAO, you need to have this, have participation, have transparency, and be used to debate and fight. Si te gusta el durazno, bancate la pelusa. That was uh, let's say, a
The saying.
Spanish.
That's the
Yeah.
saying.
Well,
That's the
well, well,
saying.
well, what is the English counterpart, Claudio?
The English counterpart of that is like you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs, right?
Okay.
And so yeah, I totally agree with that, right? But for us, it's okay. Okay, so you're going to be doing. We're going to start to do more transparency here. So thank you very much, Francisco, for sharing the screen. It's getting a little bit. I'm getting some lag here. So we discussed about the potluck grants program. So that's something we're going to be moving. Now we got MP DAO grants number 9 as well. So that's up and coming. There's still, I think, Alan is here. Alan, you wanna jump in as well? I think it's time to talk about grants program as well. There you go, Alan. How you doing, man?
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
All good, man. Go right ahead.
Perfect. Okay, so good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. We are going to have a good end of the year by participate on our grants program. So we were talking yesterday about the impact that we have been doing through the grants program. So more than 54 projects supported through several initiatives where we are redistributing all the value that we have for the MP DAO. It's clear that MPI PIP 11 is now taking action for the feedback that we received from previous grants rounds, where people was interested to know where people is allocating the votes and which are the forces that are moving the votes one way or another. So we have right now on the desk two grants round. So the first one is even one that was approved by the community on MPDAO grants number 8. That is a retroactive round. So we are allowing people that hasn't been supported by the MPDAO grants treasury, but they have showered the support to the MPDAO community to receive a retroactive incentive by the work and the task done for supporting the community. That's what we are doing with Podlock. Podlock is a platform for funding public goods inside of the NIR protocols ecosystem. They had organized rounds with NIR Foundation to support builders, to support the community, and we think that is an interesting opportunity in order to see in order to support the community that hasn't been supported yet on this moment. MPDAO grants number 9 is also coming. We are right now, we already have it, but we hasn't made it public yet. We are making alignments based on the feedback that we had received from previous rounds about how we will be supporting uh, how we will supporting new grantees for this MPDAO grants number 9, and this includes new guidelines about the amount of KPIs or KRs that the people can be requested when they are presenting a proposal for the MPDAO grants number 9, and also how this is aligned to the amount of money that they can request from the MPDAO grants number 9. So so far we have been seeing many projects, and we have enough knowledge to consolidate an idea of which is the cost of many of the grants that we have, and which is the expected outcome that we can have, and we want to standardize this to have a better way to do it. So the call to action that we have for our whole community is yet more involved. As always, if you want to have a place inside of retroactive or proactive grounds inside of MPDAO, you need to be active, you need to have votes, you need to be doing liquid staking, and also need to be aware of what is happening inside of the NIR ecosystem. There is a correlation that we have between the people that is looking on what Meta Pool is doing, what is happening inside the ecosystem, and also they have presence with other community members. So when they present a proposal for a grant, they have like a better picture of where to look for the people to get votes, to get support, and to make things possible. So that's part of the get support from MPDAO. I think this will be a good round, as we are seeing good a good amount of the bag of MPDAO grants treasury being accumulated. As always, this bag is public. You can see it on our site, stats.metapool.app. You can see the total amount of money that's been accumulated. And well, wait for the official announcement and the open call to present your grants proposals. This will be on November, so we can do it on December. So have these dates on mind, and you will be able to participate.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Dates for MPDAO grants number 9. Alan.
The idea right now is that we can do this on December, so we can close the year for. We want to have like the approval of what people will be able to do starting January, February. So December will be the date. So for this, obviously, you need to organize it previously on November. So averagely, we do the announcement like 3 weeks previous to it, and we start gathering all the information from the interested grantees. So right now, what you can be doing is start drafting all your ideas, and drafting your ideas. Later, with the official guidelines, you can start tuning, making making any change required for being aligned to the guidelines, and start participating on the new round.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Alan. So yeah, and again, thank you very much to all grantees. Right, it's been this program is for you. I see a couple of folks here from the program. I think one of the best things that we can do for yes, exactly, Francisco, grants for Christmas, and so I think one of the best things that we need from the community, also a call to action, is refer more projects, right? Refer more projects so they can start to get familiar with our grants program. If everything goes well, there might be some very important announcements coming during Redacted. We cannot share more information, but it's if the universe and the planets align, it's gonna be huge. So be on the lookout for that. If you're coming to Redacted, definitely would like to see each and every one of you there. We are bringing some very, very cool dynamics there. So lots of merch, of course, some cool merch. It's going to be at hand. Um, but most importantly, we're gonna have a like a really big announcement. Maybe two, one or two, maybe three, but then again, you'll have to find us at Redacted. So for those of you that don't know what Redacted is, it is an online hackathon and in real life event that is happening during Bangkok, during DevCon. It is November 9th to the 11th. Francisco, if you can share the Redacted website, I'll surely appreciate it. Um, those of you that are from Southeast Asia, definitely it's our time to come meet in person in real life. We are making an Asia tour as well, so that's coming. We've been having meetups with the ICP Hubs community, so a shout out to them. So there you go. So that's Bangkok 9 to the 11th at the Avani Plus Riverside Hotel. It's the hackathon that's online. That's more information in that post. It's close to more than $750,000 there or more. And so definitely lots of bounties there. Of course, we got all the whole ecosystem there partnering, and for us, it is an opportunity to meet the builders from the ecosystem. I know there's a lot of folks coming and building on top of AI. So it's going to be a very, very cool event. This time, Lucius cannot make the trip. Lucio has other stuff to do in Europe. So wait for that the first week of December. If you're in Barcelona or in the vicinities, Lucio's going to be at the Spark conference for Fireblocks. So we cannot be everywhere all the time. And we're definitely really excited to be working with our enterprise and custodial partners at Fireblocks. So anyhow, yes, Lucio, Francisco, you want to go back to the queue, to the milestones? Perfect. Thank you very much. So, anyhow, so the grants program is happening in December. We got some cool announcements happening at Redacted. There's also meetups happening all over Asia. We've done Bangkok. We've done Ho Chi Minh City. We're doing Hanoi this week. Then in a few weeks' time, we're going to be doing back to Bangkok. Then we're going to be doing Indonesia. And more importantly, we just launched a very aggressive campaign, very, very community grassroots focus, which is the Build Buddies. This is an event that is a partnership between Meta Pool and also the fine folks at Kaya Blockchain. And so this is an event that is happening on this every Saturday. We are launching this experiment mainly for uh, Vietnam right now, Jakarta in Indonesia, and maybe Bangkok in Thailand. So let me bring this up for those folks in. I'll share my screen here. Oh, there you go. Thank you very much, Francisco. And so this is the one that's happening in Jakarta. This is tomorrow, Friday the 25th. It's in Spanish right now there with Francisco putting it in Spanish, but all good. Uh, and so definitely, if you're in Jakarta, head on over, sign up through this. Hopefully, somebody's gonna be sharing those links over in YouTube. If not, we'll share it over in our socials and LinkedIn, in X, and more importantly, we've started to understand a little bit more the Asia community. We know that a lot of folks don't have Telegram there, so we started a WhatsApp group as well. We've started a Facebook page as well for Vietnam. So anyhow, so that's it, the event happening this Saturday, the 26th. This is in Hanoi. So myself, Mateo, we're gonna be there, and yes, really excited to meet the builders. We had a great session over in Ho Chi Minh City. More than 20 people showed up, very laid back. We had a couple of projects present. So definitely grab some early morning coffee. No shilling, right? It's just networking, talking between builders and projects. So yes, it's something that Facebook is still, or sorry, Meta is still quite popular the rest of the world. And I think it was an eye opener for us. Um, so we those are a couple events happening. Also have the ICP talk that is happening tomorrow here in Hanoi. Thank you very much to the ICP Hub Vietnam for supporting us. And so yes, it's like we are building the foundations for folks that are new to crypto to trust Meta Pool and the protocol and start delegating to it. Get involved with our governance, so we take it. We're committing from the next 6 to 12 months in it. One of the big things that we're going to be doing is, I know many of you uh, have seen that we supported 4 researchers from 3 from Mexico, 1 from Argentina, to participate in the Blockchain Center summer course program by the University of Zurich in Switzerland. So for next year, we're going to be supporting 4 researchers from Vietnam. We will be supporting 4 researchers from Korea as well. So it will be an opportunity for folks from these regions to have exposure to what we believe is a once in a lifetime opportunity for researchers to be at the center where blockchain technology is being built. And this, of course, is Switzerland. Zug is just in 45-minute train ride from Zurich. And so definitely it's an opportunity to be immersed in the blockchain ecosystem from Switzerland, and during 3 weeks just be with like-minded individuals. This year Lucio had the opportunity to do a lecture at this summer course program. And so for me, it's like definitely one of the highlights too from my blockchain career, to be honest. Right, it's just been sitting down with. I don't know, Lucio, you want to share more information regarding that? I think it's just to giving folks a heads up on why we believe that this partnership is important.
Sorry, I was. Are you talking about the Zurich?
Yes, the block
Yeah,
the summer school program.
yeah. I was at when I remember I need to talk something with the son, the director of the program. That is, I was there. I was giving a talk for a talk for Meta Pool, and it was a wonderful experience. They have this blockchain summer experience, and people from all around the world. Great students, incredible, and also the people carrying on with this program is amazing. I highly recommend the blockchain summer of Zurich, of the University of Zurich.
Yes, it's a full-on academic program, right? It's like very intensive. Folks go there. Yeah, so that's kind of our we closed this partnership with them this year. But more importantly for us, it gave us an opportunity to really allow researchers from places where they would not normally get funded to go and be at the center of where everything is happening on research and academic wise. And so this is a great opportunity. We're bringing this opportunity to Southeast Asia. Really excited to get Vietnamese researchers to go over to Zurich So the DAO is going to be paying for the tuition. University of Zurich is paying for the lodging, and we are aligning with some key partners that will help us raise awareness for these researchers that are heading over to Zurich. Um, then start to collaborate maybe some crowdfunding campaigns or fundraising in order to pay for their plane tickets. And so, yeah, this is going to be a full on community effort to get those 3 to 4 researchers from Vietnam, from Korea, all the way to Switzerland. And so, yeah, really, really exciting times. Thank you very much, Max. One, yes, we're going to go to Indonesia. Surabaya. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make the trip, man. I'm looking forward to it, but it's just I'm putting a little bit too much travel time, and family is starting to say, where in the world am I? And yes, it's
Exactly
gonna
on the
be
other side of the world. I mean, yeah.
exactly on the other side of the world, right? And so anyhow, so lots for crypto. Yes, Turkey, definitely. We need to be talking about that. Lucio's quite near, so yes, let's look into it. For those of you that are want to participate in the Build Buddies program, please reach out to us. Right now, Mateo's running that exclusively here for Vietnam, Indonesia, and maybe Thailand, but we can expand that program to other places if you choose to. We'd love to support that. Now, we had a great X Spaces yesterday with our partners from SSB Network. So right now we are doing a 4% APY on ETH staking on Meta Pool. So this is one of those things that, well, it's I'm not gonna say it's once in a lifetime, but definitely it is an incentives program that is will run its course. This, of course, is not the native APY for Ethereum. Ethereum APY right now is close to 2.3 or 2.4, something like that, right, Lucio? I don't know if it's or maybe 3%. Um,
No, I
and
think it's
so
below
there's
three.
an
Yeah.
yeah, it's below 3, right? And so there is an incentive that is being right now earned by the Meta Pool DAO. But again, we're not retaining all that value. We are basically selling SSB tokens, buying ETH, and then depositing that those as incentives for staking on Ethereum for Meta Pool. That's on ETH mainnet. Yes, you have to pay some gas fees. Uh, and there was a project there for us to maybe use scroll to lower the fees and for people to get MPE quite cheap. To be honest, we kind of put that a little bit on hold just because we have bigger plans. Not to throw either scroll, Linea, or Optimism under the bus, but it's just we haven't had that enough traction. And yes, we cannot do everything. So yeah, tough decisions. But at the end of the day, if you have ETH, there's a 4% APY right now on Metapool. So definitely, if you have your colleagues, help us letting them know that there's the extra APY there. And so, yeah, so really, really exciting times about the Right the 4 campaign being launched by the Metapool DAO. Now, before we wrap up, I know we want to keep this short and sweet. As I said before, there's multi-chain, multi-languages are being right now deployed on metapool.app. There's a, how can I say, maybe a copywriting bounty program. So if you catch some words that are badly written or rewriting most of the copy, by all means, send us your comments, send us your request, and say, hey guys, like this is doesn't make any sense in my language. This is how you should be describing your product, so or your protocol or the service. So definitely let us know. We're keen to learn your language. We're keen to understand how to best communicate with the in your region. So reach out to us. I know Senor Pool is doing some rewards for those of you that report some bad copy that we have on our site. So anyhow, so we're staking experts. We're not copywriters. So just yes, we're just a bunch of geeks trying to talk or speak too many languages, and sometimes that's a little bit of a way too much. So there you go. And there's some good feedback as well, right? Some guy said that how it's written in Vietnamese, that they say, well, you better to describe it as liquid staking, and that's it, right? But anyhow, that's the way it is, folks. I think there you go. So Francisco is showing the different languages. So thank you very much to the Korea team for helping us translate it as well. You have the Portuguese as well. You have the Chinese as well. So anyhow, so we're here to support each and every one of you. It's not perfect, but at least we're trying to give it a go. Anyhow, for now, I think we're about to wrap this up. We're more into the hour. I don't know, Lucio, any last remarks, any last comments before we go?
No, no, we have one more thing on the Q4, that is the meme experiment, but maybe we leave it for the next call. But that's an entire kind of worms, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Sorry that we didn't have enough time for the Meme 5 experiment. What I will say is that be on the lookout for that. There's still not a lot of information on it. We're still working through the different processes for it. We understand that meme coins are quite they're an animal by itself, right? And we're not meme coin experts, so we would like to fund and support meme coin projects. So if you have a meme coin project, do reach out to us. We love to support you. There is a trust but verify here. We will be whitelisting some projects because, of course, we understand that there's a lot of rug pulls out there. There's a lot of bad actors as well. And this is something that we will not like for people to get hurt. More
Yeah.
importantly, that they lose their crypto. And so, in this sense, we will be supporting some of the meme coin projects out there. So, be on the lookout for that. There's not more information than that, other than we're going to be supporting a few meme coin projects to launch over our at meme.cooking and also on Bite. So those are two of the launch pads right now that are currently on the Near Protocol network. We're going to start first on Near, and then we're going to evolve into other blockchains. So be on the lookout for that. Alan, any last remarks before we go?
Well, as always, this end of the year, basically it's October, but I'm mentioning this as we are almost wrapping up the year as it is. We have many activities around. It is coming Asia. We hope to see you all over there to start discussing about what are our plans, as we mentioned on this governance call. And also, you all are invited to participate in our grants program. So join the community, join the conversations, and start being part of it. We are really keen to onboard more people into the Meta Pool ecosystem, but also is always great to have the participation of Meta Pool in other ecosystems through this grant program. So thank you very much to all the people that joined this call, and hope to see you on the next one.
Perfect, folks. Well, you hear it from us. That's it. Thank you very much for coming into our governance call number 11. Again, it's been quite a ride this 2024. Next month, we will be in DevCon. We will be at Redacted. We will be at the Chain Fusion event for Internet Computer Protocol as well. They're running a hacker house as well. I believe that there's a lot of things happening. There might be a Solana event as well. More news on that as well. But please follow us on X, follow us on LinkedIn. We will be posting most of these events there. And until next time, I think one important thing here to say to folks, right, is please, anything that you heard today should not be considered financial advice. Do your own research. Understand that crypto is risky. Please do not put your life savings into it, even though some of us talking here have. But that's a whole nother thing, right? We're full on bullish on what we're building. And more importantly, we've seen the benefits. And more importantly, for us, it is a way for the new generation to become sovereign individuals. It is a new way for users of the internet to retain most of the value that they create digitally. and we are still here to support that, here to support the builders, here to support the creators, and more importantly, we're here to support anybody that would like to get into crypto from what we're calling frontier markets. And so these are regions at the border of massive crypto adoption. We want to drive that growth. We want to be one of the protocols that are actively funding this, and we believe that this is going to be the next wave of growth for our regions. And so yeah, so here we are. But anyhow, again, anything that we said should not be considered financial advice. Do your own research. Much love to you as well, Abraham, and everybody here. Zero Expo, Seydon, Rose, thank you very much for coming. Haiti Max, Chris Gem as well. Benji Santos, thank you very much for coming. Sky Empire, Angel. There's of Max One, of course. There's also blockchain insights as well. So thank you very much for coming. We cannot have done this without the community. So thank you very much for your support, for the efforts that you put in, for allowing others to discover what Meta Pool is. Thank you very much, Banda Web 3, Mexi. Thank you very much for coming. We'll see you until next time. Okay, stay safe out there, folks, and see you in Bangkok.
Thank you,
Farewell.
everybody. Thank you, Francisco, for hosting. Great.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Alan, for coming in as well. Cheers. Hasta luego. Adiós.